This is a presentation on long division. Sometimes students will get as lost reading and following directions as they do with the concept itself. Let's try something new. Let's revolutionize the way things are taught by introducing a lesson at home and working on it together in the class the next day. Every textbook will take a math problem and break it down for you. Even with arrows and colors, it's easy to lose your place when teaching long division. In this vein, little clips like what we'll see in a minute can be given to your students to review a concept and practice it. Web quests may also be used, and we will learn about more about web quests shortly. Notice when you watch the video that the words in the videos are essentially the same words as the picture we saw on the previous slide, but it's easier to focus when it's being done in real time in front of your eyes.
7,182 by 42. And what's different here is we're now dividing by a 2-digit number, not a 1-digit number, but the same idea holds. So we say, hey, how many times does 42 go into 7? Well, it doesn't really go into 7 at all, so let's add one more place value. How many times does 42 go into 71? Well, it goes into 71 one time. And we're really, just a reminder, I'm just doing the process where we say, hey, 42 goes into 71 one time, but we're really saying 42 goes into 7,100 100 times, because we're putting this one in the hundreds place. But let's put that on the side for a little bit and focus on the process. So 1 times 42 is 42, and now we subtract. Now you might be able to do 71 minus 42 in your head, knowing, hey, 72 minus 42 would be 30, so 71 minus 42 would be 29, but we could also do it by regrouping. To regroup, you want to subtract a 2 from a 1. Well, that's not so, you can't really do that in any traditional way. So let's take a 10 from the 70, so that becomes a 60, and give that 10 to the ones place, and then that becomes an 11. And so 11 minus 2 is 9, and 6 minus 4 is 2, so you get 29. And we can bring down the next place value, bring down an 8. And now this is where the art happens when we're dividing by a multi-digit number right over here. We have to estimate how many times does 42 go into 298. And sometimes it might involve a little bit of trial and error. So you really just kind of have to eyeball it. If you make a mistake, try again. The way you know you make a mistake is if you say it goes into it 9 times and you do 9 times 42 and you get a number larger than 298, then you overestimate it. If you say it goes into it 3 times, and you do 3 times 42, you get some number here. When you subtract, you get something larger than 42, then you also made a mistake and you have to adjust upwards. Well, let's see if we can eyeball it. So this is roughly 40. This is roughly 300. 40 goes into 300, the same times as 4 goes into 30, so it's going to be roughly 7. Roughly 7. Let's see if that's right. 7 times 2 is 14. 7 times 1 is 28, plus 1 is 29. So it got pretty close. My remainder here, notice 294 is less than 298, so I'm cool there. And my remainder is less than 42, so I'm cool as well. So now let's add another place value. Let's bring this 2 down. And here we're just asking ourselves, how many times does 42 go into 42? Well, 42 goes into 42 exactly one time. 1 times 42 is 42, and we have no remainder. So this one luckily divided exactly. 42 goes into 7,182 exactly 171 times.